space around Earth lay in silence. Too much silence. Commander Valar stood on the bridge of his vessel, eternal vigil, staring at the drifting shards of metal and stone that had once been a solar system. His blue skin felt colder as he watched. The debris turned lazily in the void. "Sir, we're nearing the target zone," his officer said. The young Nexari's voice was uneasy. Everyone aboard felt the same. They had come to study Earth's annihilation weapon, but the evidence made no sense. Valar moved to the scan console. Dr. Kira Novin, tall with silver eyes, studied her displays with puzzlement. She was the Council's finest scientist. If she was baffled, that was trouble. "Report, Doctor," Valar said. Kira tapped the scanner with a slender finger. "This is wrong, Commander. All of it. Data shows humans had a device able to erase worlds, so powerful it reduced their solar system to dust. Yet it's gone. No radiation from bombs, no beam signatures, no antimatter residue, no proof a superweapon fired." A chill worked down Valar's spine. The Council had sent them in. "Here, Earth vanished 3 months ago after sending one last transmission. We will not let them take our world. We choose destruction over surrender." Everyone assumed humans had obliterated their planet to deny it to an enemy. Madness, but humans were infamous for it. The Council needed to know what could destroy an entire system, and whether other colonies had it. But if no weapon existed, what had done this? "Commander," a crewman called, "we have something, a damaged human craft." Valar looked to the screen. Amid the wreck floated a scorched, fractured pod, still intact, still emitting a faint signal. Life. "Bring it in, carefully." 20 minutes later, the pod lay in their bay. The paw medics opened it fast. Inside, a human male, unconscious, but breathing. His blue uniform bore the Earth Defense Force crest and Captain Lee Do-Yun. Dr. Novin's scan confirmed. Alive but frail. He's survived nearly 3 months in this pod. Life support is failing. "Take him to medical," Valar ordered. "I'll speak with him once awake." The captain was moved to a bed ringed with alien machines. His black hair was unkempt, his face gaunt. Yet when his eyes opened 2 hours later, they were sharp. Valar stood nearby with a translator. "Where am I?" the human rasped. "Aboard the Nexari vessel Eternal Vigil," Valar replied. "I'm Commander Valar. You are safe." Captain Lee Do-Hyun tried to rise but lacked strength. "My ship, my crew." Valar's voice softened. "Only you remain. Everything else here is gone." The human's gaze held pain without shock. "I know. I saw it happen." Dr. Novin leaned closer. "Captain, we must know what destroyed Earth. Our scans found no weapon traces. What happened?" Do-Hyun's eyes darkened. He studied both aliens for a long beat, then laughed. A hollow, joyless sound. "You think we destroyed Earth?" "Yes," Valar replied. "Your last message claimed you chose destruction over surrender. What weapon did you use?" "We didn't destroy Earth," Do-Hyun said, voice growing steadier. "We destroyed what tried to take it." The room fell silent. That cold weight settled in Valar's chest again. "Explain. Something came from beyond our reality," Do-Hyun said. "We called them the Devourers. They consumed everything, not only planets or life, but space itself, time itself, turning all into nothing." Dr. Novin's silver eyes widened. "Impossible." "I saw it," Do-Hyun said. "They arrived 6 months ago. First they took Pluto, not destroyed, but erased it, then Neptune, then Jupiter, working toward Earth." Valar lowered himself into a chair. "How do you fight such a thing?" "You don't fight," Do-Hyun said. "You stop it. And we had someone who could." "Who?" "Dr. Park, our greatest scientist. She found a way to—" He broke, off, eyes closing. "She made herself the weapon." Novin rechecked her scans. Captain, our readings show this area is still active. Unfamiliar energy patterns. What did she do? Do-hyun met Velar's gaze. She merged with the quantum field around Earth. When the Devourers came, she caged them within herself. Where is she now? Everywhere, Do-hyun whispered. In every fragment, every drifting stone, every speck of dust, alive, still holding them, still protecting the galaxy. Velar's eyes narrowed. So they're still here? Contained, Do-hyun said, bound by her will. While she resists, they cannot escape. Novin's fingers raced over her console. Commander, I must begin new scans immediately. Do it, Velar ordered, turning back to the human. Why did you survive? Why aren't you part of this prison? Sadness crossed Do-hyun's face. She saved me, launched me from Earth before she changed. She said someone had to remember, to tell what truly happened. And what truly happened? Humanity met something worse than death, Do-hyun said. And one of us became more than human to stop it. Velar left the medbay, mind reeling. He had come seeking a weapon. Instead, he'd found something far more terrifying, proof that humans could become weapons themselves. As Velar headed back to the bridge, Dr. Novin's voice came over the comm. Commander, you need to see the latest scans. The energy patterns, they're not random. They form a containment grid spanning the entire solar system. Velar stepped onto the bridge and stared at the main display. The drifting debris wasn't scattered by chance. It formed precise structures, a three-dimensional net of rock, metal, and energy. Somewhere within that net, a human mind still fought to keep the galaxy safe. Contact the Galactic Council, Velar said quietly. Tell them we found Earth's destroyer. Tell them it wasn't a weapon. What was it then, sir? Velar gazed at the debris with new clarity. It was a person. A human who chose to become something else to save everyone. Silence fell over the bridge as they grasped the meaning. Humans didn't merely build weapons, they became them. And if more like Dr. Park existed out there, Velar shivered before ordering the message sent. The council needed to know the truth. Chief Science Officer SciFi hadn't slept in 3 days. His green eyes were bloodshot from endless screen staring, his hands trembling as he drank his 4th stimulant, yet he couldn't stop. The data from Earth was too vital and terrifying. The lab's quantum computers were the most advanced ever built by the Council. Capable of solving problems, normal systems would need millions of years to crack. Even they struggled with the debris field data. This can't be right, SciFi muttered, rerunning the program. The result was the same. One human mind was sustaining a quantum field spanning the entire system. Dr. Novin entered, datapad in hand, looking as drained as SciFi felt. Any progress? She asked. Too much, he said. I wish the results were nonsense, but they make sense, and that's the problem. She sat beside him. Show me. SciFi pointed to the central display, a 3D map of the region. Colored lines linked thousands of debris fragments. This is the energy pattern we found. Looks like a net or cage. I see that. What's it mean? It means Captain Lee was telling the truth. Dr. Park became the containment system. He zoomed in. Every piece of debris emits quantum signals, not random but coordinated. Coordinated by what? Her mind. She's still in there, still thinking, still holding the field. His voice dropped. This data shows she's not just alive. She's more alive than she ever was as a human. What do you mean? Most brains, human or otherwise, use only a fraction of their quantum capacity. We think with neurons, not quantum fields. But Dr. Park linked her mind directly to the quantum fabric of reality. That should have killed her instantly, Novin said. It should have. But humans are different. We're learning just how different. He pulled up another file. I've been reviewing Earth's records. Humans do impossible things all the time. They just don't realize how impossible they are. Give me examples. Captain Kim Taman, SciFi said. 3 years ago, he manually held a rupturing fusion core together for 6 minutes. Radiation should have killed him instantly, but he lived long enough to save his ship. Special equipment? No. Records show standard uniform, no protection. SciFi pulled another file. Lieutenant Shin Mi, thrown into space during battle. No suit. Survived 6 hours in vacuum until rescue. That's impossible. No species survives space unprotected. Humans can, when they must. SciFi displayed dozens of reports. Look. Humans surviving lethal events, repairing. Machines in ways that shouldn't work. Knowing things they couldn't possibly know. Novin read with growing alarm. These all happened under extreme stress. Exactly. When pushed to the limit, humans stop following normal rules. He highlighted sections. Medical scans show unusual brain activity during these events. Quantum unusual. You think they all did what Dr. Park did on a smaller scale? Yes. She simply went further. She didn't just touch the quantum field. She became part of it. SciFi brought up Earth's data again. Now she exists on a level we barely comprehend. The lab door opened. Commander Valar entered, grim-faced. Report. The Council wants answers. Sir, SciFi said, we've completed debris analysis. Captain Do-Yun was correct. Dr. Park is now a quantum consciousness spanning the solar system. And the Devourers? Valar asked. We detected them, Novin said. They're contained in a quantum prison. Their signatures are unlike anything recorded, existing outside normal space-time. Valar sat heavily. How many? Millions, maybe billions, SciFi said. They were consuming the universe until she stopped them. She holds them alone? By herself, but not alone, Novin said. She's connected to every human who ever lived on Earth. Their quantum patterns are woven into the field. Valar frowned. Meaning? She's using the combined will of her species, SciFi said. Every defender, every soul, now part of the prison. She forged their essence into a weapon, one that requires her to remain conscious forever. If she stops? The Devourers escape, Novin said. The room fell silent. One woman was protecting the galaxy by never resting, never dying. There's more, SciFi said reluctantly. Her quantum pattern matches all humans, stronger but similar. Under the right conditions, any human could do this. Valar stood abruptly. How many human colonies exist? 47 known, about 200 million people, Novin answered. 200 million potential quantum weapons, Valar whispered. Does the Council know? We waited for your approval. Send it! Highest priority, top secret. This cannot go public. As SciFi prepared the transmission, Novin studied the data. Commander, the field isn't stable. What do you mean? It's growing stronger. She's not just maintaining, it's improving. She's adapting, learning from the Devourers. Her consciousness is expanding beyond the system. How far? Unknown. But the quantum signals are reaching toward other stars, toward human colonies. Valar felt cold fear coil in his gut. You think she's contacting them or protecting them? SciFi said. The data indicated she could now sense threats across interstellar distances. If danger approached any human world, she would know and could warn or aid them. Novan looked up from her console. Commander, we may be seeing the birth of a human quantum network. Dr. Park could be linked to every human in the galaxy. Valar stepped to the viewport, gazing over the drifting wreckage. Somewhere in that graveyard, a human consciousness was growing stronger every day, a mind that had already proven it would do anything to defend its species. Send the report. To the Council, he said at last. Tell them Earth's destroyer was not just one human. Tell them it might be all humans, As the message sped through the void toward Council headquarters, none noticed the subtle shift outside their vessel. A few fragments of rock sliding slightly, realigning. The movement escaped their instruments, but Dr. Parchieri had noticed. The ship. She had listened to their words. She was beginning to understand the threat to her species came from more than just the devourers. Deep in the quantum lattice that was now her body and mind, she began to reach outward across the galaxy, searching for her people, preparing to shield them. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you threatened humanity. And they would, not like the lesson. The great assembly hall on Cententrum Prime had never been so silent. 200 delegates from every major species sat motionless as Captain Lee Down faced them. The lone human looked small against the towering platform, yet his voice carried flawlessly through the translation systems. Emperor Kolvash, ruler of the Galactic Council, leaned forward in his gilded throne. His purple skin bore the pale stress lines of his kind's unease. Captain, you have told us of Dr. Parkier and what she became. Now we ask, how many more humans like her exist? Dune glanced up at the sea of alien faces, some curious, some fearful, most hostile. Your Majesty, you are asking the wrong question. Kolvas's eyes narrowed. Explain. You want to know how many humans can do what she did? The answer, Doan's voice hardened, is all of them. The chamber erupted in uproar, a dozen languages clashing in the air. Emperor Kolvash slammed his staff until silence fell. Explain yourself, human. Down drew a slow breath. Every human has the same potential she had. We do not even fully understand it ourselves, but it is there. When we are pushed past all endurance, when everything we love is endangered, we do not simply fight. We become the weapon. Senator Velmack of the Trian Collective rose. That is impossible. We have studied human biology. You are not extraordinary. You studied our bodies, Down said coldly. You never studied our spirit, or what happens when a human refuses to surrender. Dr. Novin, permitted to attend the assembly, activated a holographic display. Council members, we have compiled hundreds of historical records of humans under extreme duress. The pattern is undeniable. Medical scans and battle footage shimmered in the air. Captain Kim Tamman held a fusion reactor together with his bare hands for 6 minutes. The radiation should have killed him instantly. Lieutenant Shinmi survived. 6 hours in hard vacuum without protection. Engineer Byung-ho restored vital ship systems while bathed in lethal radiation. These are isolated incidents, Senator Velmack insisted. No, Down Yun countered. These are what we call breaking the limit. It happens to humans constantly. We simply assumed it was normal. Emperor Kavos studied the feed. What exactly occurs in such moments? Dr. Novin shifted the projection to neural scans. Human. Consciousness operates on quantum frequencies capable of interfacing with reality's base framework. Under extreme emotional strain, humans can temporarily reconfigure local physics through sheer will. You mean they alter the laws of nature? In small ways. Yes, they make impossible things possible. They endure what should end them. They repair what should remain broken. They find paths where none exist. Diane nodded. My people say, when humans call something impossible, they mean not yet tried. Velmack sat down hard. True, every human colony is a potential threat. No, Dune said firmly. Every human colony is a potential defender. We don't use this to attack. We use it to survive. But Dr. Park destroyed an entire solar system. Dr. Park saved the galaxy. She saw something that would have devoured everything, and she stopped it, at the ultimate cost, to protect all of us. Emperor Kulvash was silent for a long beat. Captain, how can we trust your species will always wield this power for protection? That you will not one day decide we are the threat? Down met his eyes. Because that is not who we are. We don't break the limit to harm. We break it to save. But if you believed another species would harm humans, if you saw us as enemies, the silence was sharp. Dune finally spoke. Then you would be in very serious trouble, because humans will do anything to protect their families, anything at all. The hall froze. The delegates were beginning to understand. They were not facing a species with weapons, but one that could become weapons. Dr. Novan summoned another feed. Council members, we've detected quantum resonance patterns at 47 human colonies. Weak for now, but spreading. Dr. Park's transformation is echoing through the galaxy. What does that mean? Asked Emperor Kolvash. It means humans are starting to link into the quantum field. Dr. Park's mind is reaching them, teaching, preparing. This is unacceptable, Velmax snapped. You cannot stop it, Down replied. It's already happening. She is still alive, still conscious, still guarding the galaxy from the devourers, and still human. She still cares for her own. Are you claiming she's actively helping others develop these abilities? I'm saying she's ensuring they can defend themselves if they must. Kolva scanned the room, many faces now pale with fear. Captain, what if we tried to limit your expansion? Control your colonies? Down's face darkened. Your Majesty, I hope you never find out. That sounds like a threat. No, Your Majesty, that's a warning. You've seen what one human can do when pushed too far. She turned herself into a weapon capable of containing cosmic destroyers. Imagine 47 colonies believing the galaxy meant them harm. The Emperor leaned back. You are saying we should fear humanity. I'm saying you should be careful with humanity. We are your allies. We want friendship, but we will never allow our people to be harmed. Novan added fresh data. Council members, the message was clear, whispered through the quantum network to every human mind across 47 worlds. Be ready. Be strong. They will test us. Show them what we can do. The test came sooner than anyone expected. The colony ship New Sol was 3 days from Kepler Station when the first salvo struck. In the engine bay, engineer Yu Jin-Soo was bent over diagnostics when the blast hit, hurling him into the bulkhead and showering the air with sparks and smoke. Sirens screamed. Over the "Come!" the order rang out. All hands to emergency stations, we are under attack. Jin-Soo staggered to his feet, grabbed his tools, and sprinted toward the failing reactor. In the corridors, 50,000 civilians rushed for the safe zones, elderly refugees from Earth's wars, families clutching children, young colonists who had never known fear until now. In the medbay, Dr. Han Soman fought to stabilize the wounded from the first wave. The injuries were wrong. The weapons were unfamiliar, their effects twisted, almost alien. "Doctor, the reactor's failing!" a voice shouted over the chaos. "Jin-Soo's calling for medical backup in the engine room." She ran through flickering corridors, kit in hand, dodging terrified colonists. When she reached the reactor, the sight froze her mid-step. Jin-Soo stood inside a haze of lethal radiation, bare hands working the core's damaged systems. "Get out of there!" "That dose will kill you!" she yelled. "Can't stop," he replied without looking up. "If this reactor dies, we all die." Her dosimeter readings made no sense. He should already be dead, yet he was focused, precise, alive. On the bridge, Captain Park Sun-ho demanded answers from a silent void. The attacking ships had appeared from nowhere, armed with top-tier council weaponry, yet flying no banners, sending no demands. "Sir, incoming transmission," his COAMS officer said. "Put it through." A cold voice spoke in the galactic standard. "Human vessel, this is a necessary test. Defend yourselves as best you can. For the safety of the galaxy." Park's jaw tightened. "They're testing us," he said quietly. "They want to see what we become under threat. Should we surrender, sir? No. We show them exactly what humans do. Back in engineering, the impossible unfolded." Jin-Soo had been in the reactor's deadly heart for 20 minutes, yet he was unharmed, and the radiation levels were falling. Under his touch, fractured metal flowed and fused, systems knitting themselves back into working order. "How are you doing this?" Han asked, wide-eyed. "I don't know," he said, never pausing. "I just know it has to work. So it does." A second volley struck, but the shields held. In the generator bay, engineer Ba Yong-ho refused to accept a broken system's fate. His hands moved across scorched circuitry and slagged conduits. Wherever he touched, they transformed, stronger, more resilient than before. "This shouldn't be possible," he whispered. But it was. On the bridge, reports flooded in, systems back online, crew surviving the unsurvivable, the new soul, itself. Changing. Evolving. Then the comms officer looked up. "Sir, the children in Section 7. They say they can see where the next shots will land. They want to help us dodge them." Captain Park made a choice that would have seemed insane an hour earlier. Patch them through to navigation. Let them steer us. The children, some no older than 6, began calling out warnings seconds before each incoming strike. Hard left. Drop. Now. Incoming missile from behind. The new soul moved like a dancer, weaving through attacks that should have been impossible to evade. Council warships could not fathom how a lumbering colony vessel was outmaneuvering trained military craft. In the med bay, Dr. Salmon treated downed council pilots. Their wounds were severe, and their alien physiologies unknown to her. Yet when she touched them, she somehow knew exactly what to do. Her hands worked with uncanny precision, healing species she had never encountered. The alien pilots stared at her with awe and fear as their bodies mended. "How do you know our biology?" one whispered. "I don't know," Sman admitted. "I just know what you need." The fight raged for 6 hours. 20 council ships had come to probe the human vessel. 18 lay crippled or destroyed. The last 2 retreated when their crews refused to continue. Yet the most chilling sight to the council was not the battle. It was what was happening to the humans. Commander Valar observed from a hidden post, recording for the Emperor. His report would alter galactic history. "They are adapting in real time," he transmitted. "Not only their machines, they are changing, evolving, becoming something more." In the cargo bay after the fight, the crew exchanged knowing glances. They felt it. Something inside each of them had shifted. Engineer Jin Su saw his hands faintly glowing with radiation. That no longer harmed him. It strengthened him. Dr. Sman sensed the health of every being nearby, human or alien, feeling their pain and knowing how to mend it. The children still perceived threads of space and time, knowing what was about to occur before it did. Captain Park spoke. "The Council tested us to see our reaction to danger. They wanted to know if we were a threat. What did we show them?" Someone answered. "That humans don't just endure, we grow, we become more." Park's voice rang out. "And we protect each other no matter the cost." Far out in space, in the quantum field surrounding Earth's shattered remains, Dr. Parkier sensed the shift within the new soul. She felt the surge, the growth, the rapid evolution of her people under fire. It was happening sooner than she dared hope. The network was alive. Across dozens of worlds, humans were awakening to their true capacity, but she also felt the fear radiating from council worlds. This was no longer simple suspicion. They were terrified. And terrified powers acted rashly. She reached outward, touching every human consciousness she could find. To 47 colonies, she sent a warning. "They have seen what we can become. They will strike before we grow too strong. Stand ready, stand united. Show them humanity cannot be broken." The trial had ended. The real struggle was just beginning. The galaxy would learn what happened when humanity was cornered, and this time, they would not stand alone. Bound through quantum thought, united, in defiance, they would endure. The Council had sought to gauge human limits. They were about to discover they had erred catastrophically. For months, the debris field of Earth's lost system had been silent. Commander Valar, aboard the Eternal, Vigil watched its cold fragments drift. Today, something had changed. The fragments were moving, with intent. "Sir, we are detecting massive energy fluctuations across the containment grid," his science officer reported. "Quantum signatures are rising sharply." Valar felt a familiar chill. He had seen this before, during the New Soul trial. Cause? Unknown, sir. But it began the moment Emperor Kolvash ordered strikes on the human colonies. In the med bay, Captain Lee Dohyan sat bolt upright. Weeks of recovery from the escape pod melted away as his eyes widened. "She is waking up," he breathed. The ship's translator sent his words to the bridge. Valar arrived within minutes. "Who is waking?" "Captain Yeri, Dr. Park. She's been dormant, holding the Devourers, but something has roused her." Doyan's voice was quiet, edged with steel. "She knows what you did to the New Soul. That was a council operation. Now you will face the cost." Beyond, the debris began to glow faintly. The Devourer prison expanded, growing in complexity, and it reached outward. On Cententrum Prime, Emperor Kolvash met with his generals when alarms blared. Every quantum array across the galaxy reported the same phenomenon, an immense consciousness spreading between the stars. "What is happening?" he demanded. General Mortak's hands shook. "Majesty, the human mind detected at Earth is growing. It is touching every colony at once." "How?" "Quantum entanglement, on a galactic scale. She is binding every human together." Chief Scientist SciFi stormed in, overriding protocol. "Majesty, you must see this." The main display lit with a galactic map. Brilliant threads linked colony to colony, converging on the blazing core of the Earth debris field. She is linking them all. Every human mind is one. Can we stop it? Stop it? We cannot comprehend it. She spans multiple dimensions, partly beyond normal space-time. Kolvash stared as the lattice grew. What does she want? To defend her people. All of them. On 47 worlds, humans paused. A vast, warm presence touched there. Thoughts. Protective, unyielding, familiar. Children laughed at lights invisible to others. Engineers found machines responding as if alive. Doctors healed with a thought. And all heard the same words. "I am here. You are safe. We are one." On New Bususan, engineer Eugene Su paused mid-shift, the network flooding him with the hopes and resolve of every human alive. "We are never alone again," he whispered. In the colony hospital, Dr. Han Sumin felt the network ignite in her mind, and instantly, she knew the medical wisdom of every human healer in existence. But, more than that, she could sense the vitality and well-being of her entire kind. "Something extraordinary is happening," she told her patients. "We are becoming more than we ever imagined." Back on Cententrum Prime, the Council met in urgent session. Delegates from 200 species shouted over one another in fear. The human quantum network was expanding with every passing moment, and none could grasp what it meant for the galaxy. Emperor Kolvash demanded silence. "The issue before us is clear. Do we attempt to annihilate the human colonies before this network grows unstoppable, or do we accept that humanity is advancing beyond our control?" "We must strike now," Senator Velmack urged, "before they grow too strong." "Strike with what?" General Mortak countered. "Our trial against the New Soul failed utterly. A single colony ship destroyed 20 of our finest warships, and that was before the network existed." Dr. Novin, who had been monitoring quantum data, addressed them. "Council members, I have determined the network's function. It is not built for attack. It is built for defense and unity. What are you saying? Dr. Parkeri is not forging a weapon. She is forging a family. Every human across the stars is linked to every other human. They exchange knowledge, strength, and aid across interstellar space. That makes them terrifyingly capable. Only if provoked, Dr. Novin replied. The network amplifies human power and cohesion in response to outside danger, yet shows no hostility toward those who leave them in peace. Senator Velmack rose in fury. You mean we simply tolerate this, allow one species to achieve godlike abilities? I mean, we should not compel them to turn such abilities upon us. The argument raged for hours, until it was cut short by an unexpected occurrence. Every communicator in the chamber activated together, showing the same words in every language known. This is Dr. Parkeri speaking for humanity. We realize you fear what we have become. We acknowledge your worries, but we are not your foes unless you make us your foes. The chamber went still. The voice continued. We evolved because we were driven to evolve. The Devourers would have consumed everything had we not stopped them. Your trial assaults only forged our strength, for survival demanded it. We seek no dominion over the galaxy. We harbor no wish to harm others. We wish only to live in peace and safeguard our kin. Yet we will defend them from anything, anyone. The choice is yours. Accept us as we are, and we shall stand as your allies. As we always have. Continue to menace us, and you will understand why the Devourers feared us more than death itself. The broadcast ended, leaving the council silent in shock. Emperor Kolvash scanned the chamber. Any who still wish to strike the human colonies? None answered. Then it is decided. We will send word to every human world affirming our pledge of peace within Earth's debris field. Dr. Parkeri sensed the verdict through the quantum weave. She smiled, though she no longer possessed a face. Her mind stretched across the galaxy, touching her people with warmth and guardianship. Aboard the Eternal Vigil, Captain Lee Down-Yun felt her presence in his thoughts. Is it over? He asked. This part is, her voice replied in his mind. But more dangers await, more trials, and now we are ready. All together, forever. Commander Valar, listening through his vessel's sensors, felt both awe and relief. Humanity had become something unimaginable, yet chose the mantle of protector, not conqueror. What now? He asked Dohun. Now we grow, we learn, we adapt to keep the galaxy safe. Du rose and gazed out at the shimmering debris field. And remember, the greatest power lies in choosing not to wield it. Across 47, human worlds and 1,000 ships, the same truth resonated. They were no longer alone, but part of something vast, loving, and unbreakable. The Galactic Council had examined Earth's destroyer and understood. Humanity's true weapon was not machines or firepower, but their refusal to allow those they loved to be destroyed, even if it meant defying physics itself. That weapon now shielded all life. The Devourers were contained. The Council was at peace. And somewhere in the quantum fabric binding all, Dr. Parkeri kept her eternal watch, ensuring no threat would ever again endanger the ones she swore to guard. The galaxy was safe, and would remain so as long as humanity endured to defend it.